I have the top 10 most popular villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's not my list. It's literally a website that lets everyone on the internet vote. The link's in the description. You can go vote right now. They update it every month. So this is literally the most popular villagers, most in-demand villagers in the game right now. Smash that like button, hit subscribe for lots more content like this. If you're already subscribed, you've come to expect it. My channel's been really growing since starting just a few months ago, and I'm really excited about that. What's really cool about this video is I've added a lot of stuff. It's not just, here's the characters. It's, here's the character. Here's their personality type. Here's why they're popular. Here's how their personality type interacts with the other villagers, why people like them, what their name means, what their catchphrase is. I've got tons of fun stuff to make every villager in this list really fun. And I hope that if you do subscribe, you'll come back to more of these lists and possibly even, I don't know, a top 10 most hated villagers list. So just so you know, guys, I have no bias in this. My favorite villager of all time, Colton the Horse, was like in tier 4 on this list, which is crazy. So we're gonna go through the list right now, and before we do the top 3, we've got some honorable mentions that round out the top 15, so we'll throw them there too. These guys over my shoulder, I don't know if they are going to be in the video or not. I guess you'll have to watch. But seriously, this is just a fun thing. I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, also, I have a Twitter now. That's a thing. There's like 20 people that follow me on Twitter. That's in the description too. If you follow me on Twitter, I definitely would appreciate it. I think that's going to be an important thing for me going forward, and maybe you'll see why. Maybe I'll be giving away some bells. Maybe I'll be giving away some Nook Miles tickets. I don't know, but check it out. So at number 10 on the list, we have Stitches. Stitches is a lazy personality type, male cub species in Animal Crossing. He is based off of a young child's worn stuffed animal, indicated by both his name and the many patches of fabric making up his body. His catchphrase, which is stuffing, is obviously based on the stuffing used in dolls and teddy bears. Fun fact about Stitches is he is one of the few villagers in the game that is technically not an animal. As a lazy villager, Stitches is going to be friendly and easy to get along with. You'll notice there's a lot of lazy villagers on this list due to his laid-back lifestyle. He has a love of food and relaxing like all the lazy villagers, and he'll get along with pretty much everyone except for jocks, which he may offend or confuse because of their conflicting lifestyle, which is of exercise and fitness. And he may occasionally offend the snooty villagers as well. But he gets along really well with other lazy villagers, and they will talk about food, comics, or superheroes. At number 9 on the list, we have Fauna. Fauna is a normal deer villager. Her English name references the name for a young deer, which is a fawn. Her phrase, dearie, is a pun on the words deer and the word deer. Fauna is the normal personality type, and the normal personality type will frequently act kind towards the player, which kind of makes sense why it would be popular. They'll pretty much get along with all the villagers except for cranky and sisterly personality type villagers. Normal type villagers are also easier to befriend than most other villagers, and my personal favorite part about Fauna's design is her yellow hooves. I think it makes her look really cute, and I can see why people are really a big fan of Fauna. At number 8 on the list, we have Marina, who is another normal type, just like Fauna, female octopus. And I have to admit, for the longest time, I did not understand why people liked her. I didn't understand why people liked the octopus. But after getting to interact with her a little bit in my game, she really is sweet, and I can see why people like her. And again, that's why this isn't my list. This is literally everyone on the internet coming together, voting on the villagers to create this list. So I might not agree with every pick, but I definitely respect all of them. And Marina does have a pretty cool design, and I can see why people like her after I got to know her a little bit. Her initial catchphrase is blurp, which is obviously an onomatopoeia for the sound that an octopus makes, I guess particularly when spitting out ink. Next up, we have Diana, a female deer, and she actually is the first villager on this list to have the snooty personality type. If you are not familiar with this personality type, it means that Diana loves makeup and gossiping. As a snooty villager, she will first appear rude and arrogant towards the player, often talking about herself and her own experiences. She also speaks about the style and appearances of other villagers, usually other female villagers, especially the normal, peppy, and other snooty villagers in town. However, she'll quickly warm up to the player and confide in the player about her own feelings, but still being a little subtly rude. I can see why people like Diana. She has a really nice design, and I think it's kind of cool that she doesn't warm up to you right away, but when she does warm up to you, she will confide in you. A lot of people are confused about her catchphrase, no doy, but I guess it's a variant of no duh, which is obviously a pretty snooty phrase that is normally used to indicate something is blatantly obvious. You would say no duh, and that's kind of funny too. So number 6 on the list is Julian the horse. And I really like Julian for a lot of reasons, but mainly because he is a copy pretty much of my favorite character, Colton. He is a male smug horse, and Colton is a male smug horse. And Julian's design is obviously part of what makes him so popular. He's a freaking unicorn. His catchphrase is glitter. And if you're not familiar with the smug villager type, they might be my favorite one, because even though smug is normally a negative word in Animal Crossing, it's actually a really good thing. Smug villagers are polite, kind, and gentlemanlike. A smug villager will get along with pretty much every other villager type that you have. And occasionally they will stroke their own ego, going on about how cool they are. I know Colton does this a lot, but they really are cool, so I can understand that. You'll see a couple more smug villagers pop up on this list, and I can't say I'm shocked that the internet thinks a blue unicorn is one of the top 10 villagers. Next up at number 5 on the list, we have Sherb the goat. Sherb is a lazy goat villager. So if you remember Stitches, the same personality type as Stitches, the lazy villagers are very, very popular. Someone that's not on this list, spoilers, is Bob, but he is a very popular lazy villager. And I don't have Sherb. I've never gotten to interact with Sherb, but looking up footage of Sherb for this video, I fell in love with him, and he might be one of my favorites now myself. I can absolutely understand why people like Sherb. He's so weird and funny and cute. Totally my bias right here, but Sherb is awesome. But I guess a lot of people agree with me because he is ranked number 5 right now. What's also pretty amazing, he's a blue little goat who wears awesome sweaters, and his name comes from sherbet, which is a type of ice cream, which is just, he's named after ice cream pretty much. You have to love that. At number 4 on the list, we have Judy, who is yet another new villager. Another snooty type villager, just like Diana. And she is a cub villager. Fun fact, she is the first and only snooty cub in the game since the villager Cupcake. The number one thing that comes out to me personally when I look at Judy, and I'm sure everyone else might feel this way as well, is her eyes. She's got like those anime style eyes. A lot of people, because of her appearance, actually thought she was going to be the peppy personality type, which we will get into in a bit. But she actually is the snooty personality, so you can go rewind to Diana if you need a refresher of what exactly that is. But I'm personally just kind of on the fence about Judy. I don't hate her, I don't love her, but I haven't really gotten to talk to her that much. Then again, I'm normally not the biggest fan of the snooty types, although I did have Diana and New Leaf, and I did like her quite a bit. Before I get into the top 3 most popular villagers right now, I do have some honorable mentions. We have number 15, Bo. He is a lazy deer. He came to my campsite, I invited him in, and I adore Bo. He's amazing. We have number 14, Anka, who I personally thought was going to be higher on the list, because I see people, go crazy for her. She's a snooty cat type villager, but she is basically like an Egyptian goddess, which is very cool. Then we have Whitney, who is a snooty wolf. I feel like Whitney may have gotten pushed down the list because there's another female wolf who might be a little more popular right now. No spoilers. At number 12, we have Lolly, and there's a lot of really good cat villagers, Lolly being one of them. I also really like Pearl, but I totally understand why Lolly is ranked number 12. And then number 11 is Meringue, who is another normal rhino with just an amazing design. She was one of the first villagers to move to my island. I got her when I visited an island with a Nook Miles ticket, and I didn't know about her before. And I went, visited her, saw her little strawberry horn on her nose and on her tail, and I thought she was adorable. And the fact that she was really kind made me really excited to have her move in. So those are the honorable mentions. Without any further ado, let's get into the top 3. Number 3 on the list is not a new villager, is a returning character. It is Marshal the squirrel. He's kind of taken the Animal Crossing community by storm. Everyone seems to love him, and for the longest time, I couldn't figure out why. My favorite squirrel villager was Filbert. I thought Filbert was even cuter than Marshal, even though they're both pretty cute. And I couldn't understand why people liked Marshal, but then I started to get it. I started to see images, screenshots of people posting from Marshal, and he is hilarious. First of all, he's a male, smug type villager. So similar to Julian, my favorite Colton, very popular personality type, the smug personality type. But what's crazy about Marshal is he seems to flirt with all the ladies pretty heavily, and it's just so funny to see this little squirrel going around. I saw one screenshot of him telling Anka that they had to play a game, and she was the princess and he was the prince, and she had to kiss him. And he got rejected pretty hard, but you know, my man took his shot, and it was pretty entertaining, and now I can see why people really like Marshal. At number 2, we have another brand new to New Horizons villager. We have Audie. Audie is a peppy personality type wolf villager. Since this is our first peppy villager, just a quick summary of the peppy personality. These villagers always appear to be in a good mood, and they are very easy to become friends with. Peppy villagers will sometimes have the tendency to overreact in conversations about trivial subjects, and will usually be overexcited to see the player or other villagers, which I can see is definitely very charming. And if you ever had a villager in your town tell you that they want to become famous or become a singer, that would be the peppy personality type. If you ever saw the video of the 87-year-old grandmother who put 3,500 hours over that into her new Leaf town, her, main character was named after her. The mayor of her town was Audie. So a lot of people think that Nintendo decided to name this villager after her, and that's really sweet, and that's probably part of why she's so popular. I'm lucky enough to have Audie on my island, and that grandmother in New Leaf, her favorite villager was Filbert, and I have Filbert on that island too. It's really, really cool getting to see them spend time together, hang out. It's really wholesome, almost poetic. I really love Audie. I think she's totally deserving of being number 2 in terms of popularity in the game right now. And number 1 on the list, you probably may have guessed it right now, based on the thumbnail, if you've been playing the game a lot, is Raymond. Raymond is also brand new to New Horizons, his first time in the game, and right away he has a very striking design. The different color eyes, the cute little business suit, that little tuft of hair on his head. He is a male cat, and he is yet another one on this list with the smug personality type, which again is the really friendly, kind to everyone personality. I love Raymond. He has quickly become one of my favorite villagers. Something that I have noticed, which I find really interesting, is there are a lot of Raymond haters out there. And these people seem to hate Raymond for literally no reason other than that other people like him. They just dislike him because he's popular, which to me is silly. If he's not your thing and you're just like, oh, okay, I don't like him, that's fine. But if you hate him because other people love him, that's a little silly to me. I don't quite get it. I guess, there's lots of edgelords out there, very edgy. They're too cool for me, clearly, but I have no problem admitting to the world that I love Raymond, and I think he's just awesome. Raymond is actually the only cat villager with the smug personality type, and his catchphrase is crisp, which I'm actually not sure what he could really mean by that. If you guys have any idea, please let me know in the comments down below. But I think Raymond is so cool, so awesome. But I think he's going to be a fan favorite for a really long time. I think he's just way too cool and way too kind. So that rounds out the list. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope this was kind of a fun thing for all of us. Please let me know in the comment section, who is your favorite villager? Are you upset with this list? Do you think that the public has bad taste, bad opinion, or could you understand most of these picks? Let me know. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you haven't already, or maybe you forgot, smash that like button, hit that subscribe, help my small channel grow into something really fun for the whole community. Thanks again. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.